Yu-Gi-Oh! Category Cavalcade. Watts. Watts have always been a little bit of a favorite deck of mine. Not like an archetype I play religiously or anything like that, but anytime they get sports, like, oh hell yeah!
And welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!
You know,
Category Cavalcade.
I don't think they even taught it. Just the deck. It's like I like that.
I feel like is one of those
but it's mainly because I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Over the Nexus way too many times.
And that would be Watts.
What?
Mikasa needs more respect.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Or Misaka. I can't remember the pronunciation. There's a Watt character. Essentially the brutal of the story.
Anyways.
About the archetype.
Watts are an archetype full of monsters that are Thunder type, with a couple exceptions, and they are light attribute. And they were introduced in the set known as the Shining Darkness. Further support for this archetype would be added in the following sets: Duelist Revolution, Star Strike Blast, Storm of Ragnarok, and Photon Shockwave. And
right, Photon Shockwave, but that was pretty early on, I guess.
Misaki in the video game Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship.
I play this game so much, my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! game.
The archetype is focusing around monsters that, while they have low attack points, they have effects that go off during the battle phase, effects that go off when managing to attack the opponent directly, when they're destroyed by battle in or card effect, or just battling in general. Also, some of the Watt monsters have the ability to restrict your opponent from activating card effects and have other
Look at all those
types
fluoro
of
shields.
It's a load of lockout bullshit. Don't play this archetype unless you want your opponent to never talk to you again.
Don't make me call
Or I want you to never talk to me again.
Well, shut up.
Anyways, you can use them for extra deck plays as well. While they're known for synchro summoning, you can also use them for Link and XZ summoning, which I will get into later. Now, since I got that stuff done, let's get into the cards.
Yep, time to explain the main deck monsters.
Watt directs. When this card inflicts
It's
battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, discard one random card from your opponent's hand.
The effect of this card does sound nice at first glance.
But the problem is it can't attack directly.
Thus your opponent has one less resource.
So when it actually does get in directly, it's like, oh, I hate everything about this.
1. Depending on the amount of cards your opponent has in their hand, this effect might be a minor setback, as they might have other cards they could use during their next turn.
No, Digi, you don't understand. Whenever it's attacking you directly, they always hit the card you want them to not hit. Like, you'll have a handful of, like, 5 bricks, and then one card you actually can use, and they'll always hit that one fucking card you can use.
To give your opponent a deck out.
I'm not salty, you're salty.
And one more thing. There can be a possibility that your opponent could have cards that have graveyard effects that could be benefited from being discarded.
Well, yes.
Especially cards that have effects that go off when being discarded, like the Dark World.
Oh my god. Using what monsters you don't know you're facing Dark Worlds against, like, Rafa? Oh, I have no idea how hard I just screwed myself.
Your opponent will benefit from it, or get pissed that you made them discard a combo starter or something.
Watt better. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, your opponent discards
Didn't
one
we just
card
do
of
this?
their choice.
Except
This
time they get to
I have
choose.
the same feelings as the previous card, so I don't have much to say.
Actually, the last one's
seriously
better,
hope
except for the
that
fact
this
that this
doesn't
one's a
become too much
tuner.
of a
That's
trend.
literally the only benefit
Or
it has
else
compared to
this
the
video
last
is
one.
really quick.
Watt Cobra. This card can attack your opponent directly. When
Finally,
this
a
card
good one.
inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, add one Watt monster from your deck.
Very
to your
simple.
hand.
Normal summon, hit
You
directly,
remember how
search
I
a
mentioned
thing.
that Watts have effects that go off after declaring the direct attack on the opponent? Well, sadly, not
This is
all
a
Watts
main
monsters can
must
able to
have.
attack the opponent directly by default. This monster is one of those that can natively. Anyway, this card is one of those Watt monsters I highly recommend adding in the deck, because aside from able to attack directly, it can be a monster searcher on top of that.
Watt
It's very
Dragonfly.
good.
If this card is
This seems
destroyed
annoying.
by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, you
It
can
just- it's
special
the main
summon
events
one
they're
Watt
engine get
monster
going.
from your deck.
It's slow
with this
nowadays,
monster
but it
being
doesn't make
popped
it
to allow
bad.
you to bring forth a Watt monster on top of that, I recommend that you set this monster face down, so that way it can be kind of like a flip monster. You probably
Mystic
get lucky
Tomato
that the
logic.
opponent activated a card effect that destroys a random card in your hand, that the target would have been this card.
That is neat.
If this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, your opponent cannot special summon a monster or activate cards and effects for the rest of this turn.
That's never gonna
This
come
card
up.
is pretty much how I feel with the last card. Only difference is that this would almost stun the opponent.
Yeah, it would
Well,
stun the opponent, but
almost, because
they're gonna read the card and then be like, okay, so I'll just do everything in my main
This
phase
card
1.
can attack directly. If
what?
this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct
That second
attack,
half, like,
your
almost
opponent
never comes
cannot
up.
activate cards or effects until the end of this turn.
Second half is
I
irrelevant.
find
It can
funny
attack
that
directly
this
with
monster
1200
has a
attack
similar
points. That's all I
effects
need to
function
hear.
as the last card, but the only difference is it only activates when attacked direct.
Lock Popper, your opponent cannot select
You're gonna get
another
Ryan
face-up
Captain
locked
Infinite loop
monster
going with these
as an
things.
attack target or target them with card effects.
While if this thing is on the field, unless they manage to get rid of this monster, or you decide to use it for extra deck plays or tribute fodder or something, your opponent can get rid of Watt monsters with targeting effects or popping them in battle. This does include
It's handy, I
targeting
guess.
their own Watt monsters if you're somehow having a mirror match with them. Although, not gonna lie, I thought
The
this
Watt
card
mirror
would be
match. I'm
equivalent
sure it's
to an
happened
electronic
before, at least
magnet,
once.
where if you have another copy of Watt Hopper, you're
Like in
pretty
real
much
life,
fucked
video
with your
games don't
opponent on
count.
targeting effects and attacks. But from what I've read, not really. It's just the same as if you're controlling one.
Watt Kiwi, Watt monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle while they are attacking.
This card is pretty
Ah,
handy
Watt
for getting rid
monsters.
of
Well known
monsters
for
from the
suicide. Wait.
Especially if they have any that would have the same amount of attack points as the Watt monster you're attacking.
I mean, at that point, just run
Watt
Kashido
Eater,
Spirit.
If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, your opponent cannot conduct their battle phase during their next
I
turn.
mean, like, it's alright.
This card is
It's
basically
not
kind of like
outright
Watt
bad.
Dragonfly and Watt Fox in the sense that its effect being activated when being destroyed. But the only difference is that locking out your opponent from being able to attack during their next turn.
Watt Mole, this card can attack twice during each battle phase. If this card attacks a face-down defense position monster, you can destroy that monster immediately with this card's effect without flipping it face-up or applying damage
He
calculation.
has no stats, but
This
man,
card
is he
is
good.
pretty handy where you can get rid of monsters that could just be either
You got anything that's face down?
or
Not
monsters
anymore.
that have high defense for your monster to get over.
Especially if we
in
just use,
battle.
like, Book of
Or it
Eclipse.
could be a monster that has an effect of cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects.
Watt Pheasant, this card can
Ah,
attack
the
your
other half of
opponent
Giraffe's
directly.
combo.
When this card inflicts
Cobra.
battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, select one face-up monster in the field and remove it from play until the end phase of this turn.
So
While
let your
I do
other
like the
monsters
effect
attack
of
directly
getting
as
rid of
well,
one monster
like
that
the
either you
fish
or your opponent
duo.
controls. It is kind of iffy that it has to come back to the field during the end phase.
Yeah.
Watt Squirrel,
But it can be a
this
pain in the
card
butt.
can attack twice during each battle phase. If this card battles, negate the effects of the monster it battled after damage calculation, including in the graveyard.
It's cool that this card is essentially like Samurai Destroyer, but its negation remains even when the monster is sent to
Yeah,
the
but at least Samurai Destroyer has good
Although, With this
stats.
monster having low attack points, it's recommended you have cards like United We Stand, or
That is good for the archetype in general.
Something else to boost its attack points.
Watuna, this card can attack
One of the newer
directly.
cards.
You can only use
And
some
you
of
can
the
tell by the
following
text.
effects of Watuna once per turn. At the end of the damage step, if your monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon this card from your hand. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can tribute this card in the field and one or more non-tuner monsters from your hand and or face-up field, and special summon one Watt Synchro monster from your extra deck whose level equals the total levels of those tributed monsters.
This
Jeez
monster, along with
Louise.
like Hayuki, are the new support cards for this archetype. Thus, it's
There, we
why
fixed the
only one of
archetype.
the
It has
archetypes
no
in the
problems
main
now.
section so far that has more text than the others.
They really
Anyway,
do
I
that,
like
so
the
they're
effect
just
where
like,
you
how do
can
you
use
know
it
it's
to
been
summon
like
one
12 years
single
of support?
monster.
Look at
That
the
could be
old
a
cards,
one-way
look at
ticket
the
to
new
make the opponent
cards.
lose the duel.
Power creep is obvious.
This card can attack twice
Like, seriously,
during
look
each
at the
battle
freaking
phase.
Watt Tuna we had,
Any
and now look at
monster
this.
that battles with this card cannot change its battle position.
This card to me is a mixed bag.
Yeah,
On
1,000
hand, I do
attack
like the
twice.
twice
That's
effect this
actually
card
pretty
has,
good.
And the effect that the opponent's
Unlike the
monsters
mole.
can't able to change the battle position of that targeted monster.
Also, I like
But
the
the only
design.
flaw with that is that it doesn't stop the opponent from able to do extra deck plays with that monster, or tripping in it for another summon, or some other effect. Granted, this doesn't happen all the time, but still, I do think it is best for this guy to attack directly like other main deck Watt monsters.
Watt Kid, a creature that
He technically
electrocutes
counts.
opponents with bolts of lightning.
This is one of the 3 monsters that despite it having Watt in its name, I feel like it has nothing to do with this archetype.
Not really, no.
So you might be asking, why did I include this card into this video? You're
Close
telling me
enough.
Konami is weird for naming cards that technically are part of an archetype, even though they don't have effects that can help them out.
100 Eyes Dragon was
I
almost
will
a Red
give
Eyes
this
monster.
Credit that at least it's a Thunder monster.
Watt-tailed
True.
dragon, capable of indefinite
Yeah,
flight,
see, this one makes no
attacks
sense.
by wrapping its body with electricity and
It has
ramming
Watt
into
in the name,
opponents.
therefore,
Important,
no.
Capturing the Watt-tailed dragon is forbidden by the ancient
Let's be real
rules
here.
and is a level
These
6
3
offense.
cards, do
The
we
minimum
consider them part of the
sentence for
Watt,
which is
the
imprisonment
Watt
for no
archetype?
less than
No,
2,500
not really.
Heliosicles.
Okay, this card I will admit shouldn't even be part of this list.
No.
But the reason I did so is because it has the Watt section in its name. I'll admit though, it is a
Well,
good
then again, when are we
piece
ever going to
use
talk
in the
about
deck,
these cards?
Just not one inside.
This thing is a
Watt
erratic card more than it is a
Watt
freaking
Psychic
Watt
Fighter.
monster.
When this card is normal or special summoned, you can target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard. Place it on either the top or bottom of their deck. You can only use this effect on Watt Psychic Fighter once per turn.
I mean, like, it's alright,
the
I
last
guess.
monster of the 3 that aren't supposed to be part of this arc.
Well, yeah, they're vanillas.
Anyway, for the effect of this
Although
card,
at least
it is
Watt-tailed
handy if you
Dragon
want to get
has
rid of cards
2,500
that could
attack
have
points.
graveyard
It's a tribute
effects
monster,
that
but
can
still,
be
that's
useful to your
okay. Anyway, on to the extra deck.
Watt Chimera, 1 Watt Tuner, +1/+1.
It has summoning
Thunder
animation
monsters.
over the Nexus.
This card can attack directly.
Someone animate a
If this
freaking
card
Chimera.
inflicts battle
Can't blame them.
damage to your opponent by a direct attack, place 1 random card from your opponent's hand on top of their deck.
I
Annoying.
honestly would have preferred if this card was shuffled into the deck instead of being placed on top of the deck.
Yeah, but then they're going to top
But,
deck into
hey,
it constantly.
Whatever works of getting rid of 1 card in your opponent's hand.
Watt Hydra, 1 Watt Tuner, +1 or more non-tuner Thunder-type monsters. This card can attack your opponent directly. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, choose 1 card in your deck and remove it from play. Add that card to your hand during your second standby phase after activating
It's Gold
this effect.
The
Sarcophagus.
effect of this card is just basically Gold Sarcophagus, which does come in handy to retrieve an extra
Yeah, and
card.
honestly, you
Albeit
can do
though,
that
you have to wait for
repeatedly,
3 turns
potentially. Like, if it
Watt
lives long
Cavalcade,
enough.
1
That's
Watt
pretty
Tuner,
good.
+1/+1 non-tuner Thunder monsters.
I don't like its
This
stats.
card can attack directly. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can shuffle both 1 Watt Tuner from your deck and 1 face-up non-tuner Thunder monster you control into the deck. And if you do, special summon 1 Watt Synchro monster from your extra deck, except Watt Kayuki.
I mean,
You
that's
can
pretty
only use
good.
this
My
effect
problem
on
is it's a
Watt
level
Kayuki
8
once
synchro
per
with
turn.
these stats.
As I mentioned before, this card and Watuna are the new
Like, you
support
couldn't give
cards
it,
for
like,
this
I
archetype.
don't know, the
I think
Stardust
that
Dragon
this card's
stats, or
effect
at least,
is
like,
shared
2,500,
among
1,900 or
Watuna
something.
to
Like,
bring
it's
forth
just so...
another Watt Synchro
blah.
monster. That could be another step to end the game earlier or something.
Anyway, on to the spells and traps. Glorious artwork, by the way.
Watt Castle. Any monster that attacks a Watt monster loses 1,000 attack after damage calculation.
There's a reason it got an
While I'm glad
upgrade.
this archetype does have a field spell of its own,
Yeah.
I feel like it should have had more.
We have
effects.
Toon Kingdom at
The
home.
effect of the attacking
Toon
monster
World.
losing 1,000 attack points after is nice and all, but as I said,
What if
it should have more than
Skyscraper,
that.
but worse?
Like, why not special summon a Watt monster from your deckhand or graveyard? Or
Well,
add
that's
in a
because it was
Watt
made in
monster or a
2012,
Watt
where
card
you
in
didn't. It
general
wasn't
from your deck or
at the time.
graveyard
Wasn't like
hand.
you breathe
Or
plus
even
everything.
giving Watts in an attack boost or something. Or
Yeah, I would've
having
been
a
fine if it was like
combination
their
of all of those
Skyscraper.
effects I just mentioned. It would make this field spell a bit more handy, but as it is, it's just not that great.
Nah,
Watch sign.
not really.
When
Don't
a
put on the
thunder
deck.
type monster
Watch
you
sin,
control
like
inflicts
medicine.
battle damage to your opponent. Gain life points equal
This
to
works
the
for any
damage
Thunder Archetype, so
inflicted.
if you want to put in, like,
While I do
Thunder
like the idea of the
Dragons,
spell
you can.
card giving more life points to stay in the game a bit longer, and also allowing you to activate effects that require life points as a cost, this card doesn't really do anything else outside of that.
No, it's a
But if
win
you're
more
okay
card,
with
but it is
keeping
neat, I
on the field
guess.
for that, then hey, that's completely fine.
Lock cube equip only to a thunder type monster. It gains 100 attack for each thunder type monster
You're
in
not
your
really going to use that
graveyard.
effect
You
often. I
can
mean, it'll
send
probably
this
come up once in a
face-up
while,
card
but
from
not
the
often.
field to the graveyard to have one face-up thunder type monster you control gain 1000 attack.
This card's first effect
That
isn't
second effect is the one
entirely
that's gonna
useful
come up.
unless if there would be copious amounts of them within the graveyard.
Like, late
The
game,
second
I'm sure the
effect
first
is
effect is
handy when
devastating, but
targeting this
early
on a thunder
game,
monster you control
no, just
with
use
a
the second
higher attack
effect.
value. But if you only control one thunder monster, then it still works.
Yeah.
Adjustment equip only to a level 3 or lower thunder type monster. It gains 800 attack. Also its effects are negated. Each time it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, draw one card.
I mean, like, it's
honestly don't know why
okay, I
this card
guess.
can only be equipped to a level 3 or lower monster.
Yeah.
As I could have seen this
Didn't
card
want
being equipped with
Motmo
other
going
thunder
crazy.
monsters beyond level 3. Their effects might be negated for sure, but at least
I guess you
it's
can
a
keep the
drawback
effect
of
negation
some
parts.
sorts. I also
Oh
do
my
like
god,
the artwork
I now
shows
want
it's
to see
some
Thunder
kind
Dragon
of
Colossus
gun,
wielding this
but
thing.
it does make me wonder how the hell the monsters would even be able to hold this thing.
Lock key. Face up locked monsters you control can attack your opponent.
Some of them can
directly
do
this
that
turn.
already, so this is
card is pretty
redundant,
handy for the
but
Watt
it's pretty good for the
monsters that
lower
don't
level
have
monsters
the
that you're
ability
not going to
to
run.
attack the opponent directly.
Watt monsters
I
are
also
tuned to
do
this,
like
that's
the
pretty neat.
artwork depicting a key to what I assume is the Watt Castle shown in
Most
the
likely.
Watt Castle card.
Lock
It's
Kingdom.
nice.
Your opponent
The new
cannot
continuous
activate
spell.
the effects of a monster that activate when it is normal or special summoned, while in the same column as this card or locked monster you control. You can target one locked monster you control, special summon one locked monster with a different name from your deck, then you lose life points equal to the special summon monster's attack. Also,
The Watt
you
turns
cannot
only beat
special
sticks.
summon for the rest of this turn, except thunder monsters. You can only use this effect on Watt Kingdom once per turn.
I do like the effects of this card.
There, we
but
fixed
I honestly
everything.
Feel like this should have been a field spell as a retrain of Watt
Yeah.
Castle, just
Yeah.
due to it having somewhat better effects.
It's always a continuous spell, it's like, that's a
Lock
taboo,
game
right? They're going to
and
fix
lock
that later,
cards
they did
with
not fix
different
later.
names from your deck to
This
your
was
hand,
funny in the sense, it's like,
except
oh
lock
boy, Watt
game,
support!
up
It was
to the
literally this
number
and
of
that's
thunder
it.
monsters
Someone just
you
wanted to draw
control with
Watt
different
on a
names.
train.
During your main phase, except the turn this card lost sent to the GY, you can banish this card from your GI, special summon as many Watt monsters as possible with different names from your hand. You can only use each effect on Watt Train once per turn.
I do like both of the effects of this card to where it's recommended you should use it in a deck. By the way, I also like the artwork of showing how there are some Watt monsters inside of this electrical moving train.
Yeah, and the lemur's the
Watt
conductor and
Psychic
whatnot, that's
Fighting
good.
Porter special summon up to 2
That's-
level 3 or lower light monsters from your hand. If you summon 2 monsters with the same original type, those monsters can attack directly this turn. If they have the same original level, they
Okay, so
also
4 random
cannot
pack
be
filler, that's
destroyed
gonna be
by
count.
battle this turn.
It's a neat
You
card, I
can
guess,
only
though.
activate 1 Watt Psychic Fighting Porter per turn.
This card is really handy to not only bring forth a couple of Watt monsters to the field, but if they don't have the ability to attack directly, this card would allow that to go through. And if they end up being
Neat.
in the same level, there's that bonus
It is a
of
quick
they're not
burst spell,
able
so that
to be
helps.
destroyed in battle.
Lock cancel. When your opponent would normally
Wrong
or
arch.
special summon a monster or monsters, discard 1 locked monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster or monsters.
While I do like this trap card
It's
for
solemn.
negating summons, I also feel like it shouldn't negate monster and or spells and trap cards. By the way, I do like how this card has 2 different artworks. In the OCG, it shows Ojama Yellow being electrocuted, while in the TCG, it shows a red X with a lightning bolt hitting the X.
I like how
Pretty cool
the
effects.
Japanese went too
Lock
far.
cannon.
Meanwhile,
Once per
friggin'
turn. When a
We
level
do that sort of
4
thing
or
all the
lower
time. Why is
thunder-type
it bad
monster
now?
or monsters
Whatever.
is normal or special summoned to the field. Inflict 600 damage to your opponent.
It's cool.
No,
that this
no, I
is
don't
a
think I will.
burn
I wish
card,
that was stacked, but
it's
no.
really slow to where it makes you wonder, is it even worth having a card like this in a Watts deck?
Watt Keeper. Select one level 4 or lower Watt monster in your graveyard. Special summon that monster from the graveyard. Destroy it during the end phase.
I do
Yeah.
like that with this card, you can bring forth another Watt monster.
I guess
for
you bring back a
potential
tutor or
extra deck
something.
plays, or a direct attack or something. Of course, there is the drawback of destroying the monster, but this can be a non-issue sometimes.
It was Call the Haunted when Call the Haunted was not that great, or not that common because limitations.
Now,
Anyway, why do you like the
might be
archetype to an
wondering,
extent?
Why do I like the Watts archetype to an extent? First off, I like their gimmick. While not all Watt monsters are able to natively attack the opponent directly, and it's not the only archetype that can do that,
Far from it.
it's still a pretty
They'll
cool
probably be
deal
far
to
from
say
last
the
as
least.
well.
And while they would have low attack and defense, it's okay. Because they typically would have some kind of effect to hinder your opponent's moves after dealing damage.
True.
Plus,
Also
there are
true.
cards in the game that can boost their attack points anyway. The second thing would definitely have to be the artwork. I really like how the monsters have an electric pattern to their fur, scales,
Same.
carapace,
It looks so
depending
good.
on what monster you're talking about here.
That's
It
like by
gives
lightning.
them a vibrant, streaking appearance, and I like that. Oh, and I also do like the electric pattern going on with some of the support cards for this archetype. One last thing to talk about is that while they were designed for the synchro strategy as their levels were small, you could also use these monsters for Link and Exi strategies as well.
I hope so.
It is cool that since the Watt monsters are usually levels 2 to 4, you can use them for rank 2 to
Watt being
rank 4
exception.
Exi monsters. For Link monsters, you got your usual generic material monsters
Yeah,
that
just
can
to ain't
be in the
broke.
deck, along with those that require
Probably using the
thunder
alt
monsters
arts.
as material.
Yeah, you're playing a Thunder deck, it only makes sense. Recommended cards.
If you're planning to make a deck out of this archetype, here are some of the recommended cards.
Just gives them the Thunder Dragon
For
engine.
the main deck monsters, the Hunter family, Ma Hunter, Paul Hunter,
Easy.
Bro Hunter, and Sis Hunter, Honest, Primal Dragon the Primordial, Rescue Hedgehog,
Okay.
Shining Angel, Thunder Seahorse, and Thunderclap Skywolf. For extra
Interesting
deck
choice, but
monsters,
okay.
Luminary Attack, Adrian Sacred Wyvern,
Instant fusion target.
any synchro monster that usually would require generic
Maybe a
materials,
Thunder, one
like
of those new ones.
Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend, Stardust Spark Dragon, Clearwing Synchro Dragon, Dragger Berserker of the Tingy, Angie Master Packbit.
You made that one up.
Archfiend,
I'm
and
sure it's
Crimson
real, but if
Blader
you
just
ever
to
heard
make
your
some.
name, just like, you made that one up. No, it's real. Check.
Kashinikin, and Summer Summoner. For the spell cards, Electromagnetic Shield, Messenger of Peace, Ray
Stall.
Fusion and/or Instant Fusion.
You could be like the gay guy in
Recycling
Yu-Gi-Oh!
batteries
Chronicles,
and
stalling
unexpected
forever and
die.
actually going anywhere.
For traps, Abyss Stingray, Judgment of Thunder,
I
Thunder Dragon's Hunter
want so many
Thunders,
gamer too.
and Wall of Disruption.
Again, budget player.
Another short list of spells and trap cards.
Hey, it's welcome after all
Sorry
the big
about
ones you've
what's
been putting
up
out
this
there.
time.
Sorry Digi, that's all the cards that came up on my list, without trying to repeat generic cards like Dark Hole, Mirror Force, etc.
I see.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
I think there's going to be times throughout this series of videos that the recommended cards section is going to be a small selection of cards to a big selection of them. It depends
It already
on what
is, basically.
strategies certain archetypes.
Yeah, I can see your point there. I guess from now on, we'll just have to accept what we can get. Anyways, for other archetypes to combine with Watts, there is the Thunder Dragons that I actually mentioned in a previous episode of the
Yeah,
series.
how to make Watts good. Make them Thunder
and there are
Dragons.
the Battery Mins, but
They're
that's
pretty
all
cool, I
can think of
guess.
right
A
now.
bit slower, but they're okay.
That's about it for this episode. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below. For the next episode, I'm going to allow you guys to vote on the next archetype for me to cover on.
That's a
The struggle
mistake.
poll of it will be in the description below. Anyway, until such time as we meet again, this is Digi, signing out.
Well, it's good to see you again, Digi, and thanks for the deck profile. Always remember that this archetype feels longer than it actually is. It's one of those things just like, oh, I'm sure this archetype will be at least a half an hour. No, it was about 10 minutes. Well, that's slightly depressing, but what are you going to do, right? Ah, well. At least it was a solidly made episode, I guess. Anywho, yeah. Learn more about some what monsters, and I really wish Over the Nexus got a sequel game instead of just going on to the Duelist Cup. I knew it was a small chance of help. I was really enjoying the story and wanted to see where we go next. The answer was nowhere because none of the Zone stuff happened in the friggin' DS era, unfortunately, so we missed out. You want Zone in a Yu-Gi-Oh game? Download Duel Links or Tag Force 3, I think? Yeah. No, not 3, it's 6 it would be, because I guess 3 would still be GX, so yeah. Anywho, good to know more about the What Archetype Chain. We're going to get to see more about Toru and Mikasa more in the actual thing. Like, I know they're video game characters exclusively. They weren't going to, like, show up in the anime. I think they made it, like, one anime cameo, but that's it. It wasn't even, like, one of those things just like, hello, my name is. It was one of those just, like, look in the background. Okay, there you go. That's all you get. It's better than nothing. But, yeah, it's a shame we didn't get to see more about their story, but what are you going to do, right? I just said as someone who played this, like, religiously back in the day, so just like, I would have liked more story. We're not going to get it, but I would have liked it. Ah, well, what could have been, I guess. I don't know. Gotta focus on World Duel Carnival instead. Though, to be fair, that game was at least alright. It was pretty alright, yeah. So, anyway, yeah. That's the end of this episode. Good work to Digi and frickin' Wildcard and Zarvox for the video. They did a great job on this as always. Leave the channel below as always again. And look forward to see what comes next out of Digi next time. And until the time, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Try not to electrocute yourself now, everyone. See you all then. Later.